Hey guys, we are going to start today's practice in a seated position, either with the legs crossed or on your shins. So make yourself comfortable, maybe as always, use the bolster or the blocks, and then close your eyes. And take a moment here to center yourself, to arrive on the mat, into this space. This space that you are creating with every breath that you take. The space full of stillness, tranquility. Take a moment to create a bit more space in your back body, elongating the spine. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Softening your face. And just inhale. And exhale mindfully. We are going to start the practice today with pranayama exercise. Very soothing, very calming. For now, just breathe naturally. In and out. In our breathing exercise today, I want to achieve the state of relaxation, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. We are going to work on stimulating vagus nerve, which is the nerve that connects main organs in the body. It also connects with the diaphragm, which is connected with the breathing itself. Every time when the diaphragm moves to create space for the lungs to expand, it's in a way massaging and stimulating vagus nerve, which is also stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, relaxing, calming. What we're going to do is also activating the Nalahara Bandha. Not getting too deep into this, there are three main bandhas, and this is a throat bandha. And in between inhalations and exhalations, we are going to lock it. So bandhas is the art of locking the energy. What we're going to do is inhalation for the count of 4. And then you're going to plug your nose and pull the chin to the chest, so kind of creating this double chin, and then guiding the head to the back. You're going to hold like that for 6 seconds. And then you're going to exhale through the mouth for the count of 8. Okay, so whenever you feel ready, take inhalation. And then exhale through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose. out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plug your nose, chin to the chest, and then pull the head to the back, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your nose, your chin, and then exhale maybe through the nose if it feels better. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale through the mouth. And again, inhale, exhale through the mouth. One more, inhale, exhale through the mouth. And we are going to create this pranayama, repeating it in sets. So whenever you feel ready, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plug your nose, chin to the chest. 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. And exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Plug the nose, chin to the chest, pull your head to the back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Block the nostrils, chin to the chest. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your hand, your head. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Plug the nose, chin to the chest, pull the head to the back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Plug the nose. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the head and the hand. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhalation. Exhale through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose. Out through the mouth. One more. In and out. And then allow your breath to come back to its natural pace, natural state. We are going to start the movement now. You can stay with your eyes closed for the next moments, or you can slowly start opening the eyes. And then place the hands at the back of the skull, interlacing your fingers. Elbows are pointing away from each other. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, pull the chin to the chest, rounding the back body, elbows together. Inhale, open your chest, elbows away from each other, lift your heart center, lift your tailbone. As you exhale, pull the chin to the chest, elbows together, rounding the back body, elongating the back of the neck. And then inhale, open your chest, micro arch in your lower back. Elbows are pointing away from each other. Exhale in. Round the back body. Inhale, open your chest. Widen through the collarbones. Head is resting on your hands. And again, exhale. One more here. Inhale. This time come back through center. And then release your hands. Place your hands in front of your chest. And start rounding circling your wrists in any way that feels good. So maybe you want to create this wave-like motion with your hands, with your wrists. And then press your palms to the front of the mat. The fingers are still interlaced. And then pull your hands towards your chest, sliding the shoulder blades together. And again, press the hands to the front of the mat. And then slide the shoulder blades together, hands towards your chest. And again, forward, elongating the arms. And then hands towards your chest, shoulder blades together. One more. Forward. And then in. And then release your hands. Place your right hand on your left ear. And start guiding your right ear towards your right shoulder. Walk your left fingers to the left. And just hold. Creating length in the left side of the neck. Inhale. And exhale. Maybe walk your left fingers even further away. And then release. Raise your right hand. Place your left hand on your right ear. And start guiding your left ear towards your left shoulder. Gently walking your right fingers to the right side. Creating length in the right side of the neck. Dropping the right shoulder away from the ear. Just hold. Take one more inhalation here. And then as you exhale, release. We are going to transition into a tabletop position. So you can release the bolster, the pillow, the cushion that you were seated on if you were using one to the side. And then make your way into your tabletop position here. Big step with your hands to the front of the mat. Hips stay on top of your knees. Inhale. And then as you exhale, start making your way into a puppy pose. The first position of this practice, so be gentle here. We're going to add the movement. Press the palms of your hands, the forearms and elbows to the mat, and then tilt your pelvis under. Start rippling forward. And then lower your hip bones, your belly to the mat. Elbows are under your shoulders. And then think of pulling your elbows to the back, tractioning the chest forward, engaging the glutes so you are pressing the top of the feet to the mat. And then from here, on your next exhalation, start lifting your hips, making your way into a puppy pose. We're speeding it up. Tilt your pelvis under. And then lower your pelvis, your belly, opening the chest, engaging the glutes, the hamstrings. And then as you exhale, lift your hips, puppy pose, 2 more times. Tilt your pelvis under and then lower, rippling forward, tractioning the chest forward, elbows under the shoulders. As you exhale, hips on top of the knees. 1 more time, forward. You are in your Sphinx pose. Maybe stay here if you feel warmed up enough, and quite possibly you don't. Again, we are just starting. You can extend the elbows. And then once again, strong glutes. So you are pressing the big toe to the mat, or both of the big toes, of course. And then relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And just look forward. So the back of the neck is long. Take 1 more inhalation here. If you have lifted the elbows, the forearms, drop them on the mat. And then tuck your toes under. Tilt your pelvis under and start making your way into your forearm plank. Look at the mat. Scoop your abs in and up. So as if you wanted to connect the lower ribs with your hip bones. And just hold. Taking 1 more inhalation. 1 more exhalation. Drop the knees on the mat. Drop the top of the feet on the mat. And once again, lower your pelvis, your belly. As you exhale, lower your chest on the mat. Slide your hands next to the rib cage. And then make your way into your tabletop position once again. Inhale. Belly towards your thighs. Open your chest. Look up. Exhale. Round the back body. So a few moments in a cat-cow. Inhale. Open. As you exhale. Round the back body. Chin to the chest. Tailbone is pointing down. 2 more. Your own pace. So you don't have to follow my pace. You can stay in this cat-cow for as long as you need to. Speeding it up, slowing it down, allowing your breath to be the guidance here. 1 more. And then neutralize the spine. Come back to center. And then extend your left leg to the back. Place the left toes on the mat and then start pressing your left heel to the back. Square your hips and then maybe press the left heel even closer to the mat. Maybe even your right knee will lift here. Finding length in the back of the left calf. Just hold. Take 1 more inhalation. And then as you exhale, drop your right knee. Shift the shoulders on top of your wrist and lift your left leg. Bend your left knee. And then place your left knee behind the right knee, creating some space in between your calves. And then start guiding your hips in between your calves to the back. On your next inhalation, open your chest. So once again, cat-cow with those shoelace legs. As you exhale, hips to the space in between the calves. Inhale, open your chest, look up. As you exhale, to the back. And then as you inhale, open your chest, widen through the collarbones. The back of the neck stays long. As you exhale, guide your hips to the space in between the calves. And maybe you are going to stay here with your hands on the mat. Maybe you can grab your cushion or the block and place it under your sit bones. So you can actually stack your shoulders on top of the hips. You want your knees to be, the right knee to be on top of the left knee. If it's possible for you, maybe you can sit on the mat without your block. Make sure that both of the sit bones are grounded on the mat. And then your heels are next to your glutes, next to your hips. On your next inhalation, if you are here, extend your left arm above the head, and then bend your left elbow, place your right hand on top of the left elbow, left fingers are pointing down. And then open your chest, make sure that you are not arching your lower back too much. And then maybe if your body allows you, extend your right arm to the right and then guide it to the back, big movement. Bending your right elbow, point your right elbow to the mat and maybe find connection, maybe grab to your left fingers behind your back. So left elbow is pointing up, right elbow is pointing down. Spine is long without overarching in the lower back. And just stay here for one more inhalation, one more exhalation. And then release your hands, release your arms. Place your hands back on the mat. Right knee stays on the mat and then extend your left leg to the back once again. Flex your left toes and then drop your left toes on the mat. Place your right hand behind your head. Right elbow is pointing to the side. Inhale. Open your chest to the right. Right elbow is pointing to the ceiling. As you exhale, scoop your abs as you drop your right elbow to the mat. Inhale, open your right elbow to the ceiling, chest to the right. As you exhale, drop your right elbow to the mat. One more. Inhale, open your chest to the right. And then as you exhale, right elbow taps to the mat. This time, inhale, open your chest to the right, extend your right arm to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, guide your right arm under the left one, dropping your right cheek on the mat. Extend your left arm, walking your fingers to the front of the mat. And then tend out your left hand, so just the fingertips are touching to the mat. And maybe start walking your left hand to the right top corner of the mat. Maybe look to the ceiling under your left armpit. Just hold. If you are falling, that's okay. Just come back to the shape. And take one more inhalation. Start walking your left fingers to the left top corner of the mat. And then slide your left hand so it's a bit closer to your head. On your next inhalation, open your chest to the right, extend your right arm to the ceiling. And then bend your right elbow, once again right hand behind your right head. And then tap your right elbow to the mat. Release your right forearm to the mat. Release your left forearm to the mat. And then step your right foot to the back so you are ending up in your forearm plank. Left forearm parallel to the shorter edge of the mat. Point your knees, your toes to the right, and then make your way into your forearm plank. If this is way too much, you can drop your bottom knee on the mat. Otherwise, keep your legs extended. Keep lifting your hips. Right fingers are reaching up. Maybe you want to look towards your right fingers. If this is too much or uncomfortable for the neck, you can of course look at the mat. And take one more inhalation here. As you exhale, drop your right forearm to the mat. Square your hips, release your left arm in a way that it's parallel to the right arm, and then just hold. Inhale. As you exhale, drop your knees to the mat, the top of the feet to the mat, and then lower your pelvis, your belly, opening your chest, sphinx. As you exhale, release your chest, hands next to the rib cage, and then press back, making your way into your tabletop position. We are going to the other side. Extend your right leg to the back, and then flex your right foot. Drop your right toes to the mat, inviting your right hip bone forward, left slightly to the back. And then start pressing your right heel to the space behind it and then towards the mat, elongating the right calf. And once again, maybe you can even lift your left knee from the mat. Squaring your hips, getting really deep into the back of the right calf. Just hold for one more inhalation. And then as you exhale, release your left knee on the mat. And then start lifting your right foot from the mat, squaring your hips. Bend your right knee, drop your right knee behind the left knee, creating space in between the calves. And then press your hips to the space in between the calves. On your next inhalation, shift the shoulders on top of the wrists, open your chest, look up. As you exhale, round the back body and sit or guide your hips to the space in between the calves. Inhale, open. And again, exhale. And then inhale, open your chest, keep the back of the neck long, widen through the collarbones. And then as you exhale, once again to the back. And maybe you're going to stay here, maybe you're going to hang out here. Maybe you will grab the block and you will place it under your glutes. Maybe you don't need a block. And then simply lower your hips in between your calves. And then maybe shift your shoulders on top of the hips. So left knee stacked on top of the right knee. You can stay here, or you can extend your right arm above the head. And then bend your right elbow. Place your left hand on top of the right elbow. Right fingers are pointing down. And maybe you're going to stay here, guiding your right elbow slightly to the back. Maybe you can extend your left arm to the left and then a big circular movement, bending your left elbow, pointing it down. Maybe you can grab to your right fingers. So left elbow is pointing down, right up. Think of elongating your spine even more. And just hold. One more inhalation. One more exhalation. And then release your hands, your arms. Place your hands back on the mat. Shift the shoulders on top of your hands. And then extend your right leg to the back. Flex your right foot. And then drop your right toes to the mat. Left hand behind your back, behind your head, sorry. And then inhale. Left elbow is pointing up. Open your chest to the left. As you exhale, tap your left elbow to the mat as you scoop your abs. And again, inhale, open. Exhale, tap. Inhale, open your chest to the left. Left elbow is on top of the left shoulder. As you exhale, tap. This time, open. And then extend your left arm above the head. As you exhale, lower your left arm under the right arm. And then lower your left cheek on the mat. So the left arm is parallel to the shorter edge of the mat. Extend your right arm to the front of the mat, tenting out your right hand. And then start walking your fingers to the left top corner of the mat, maybe looking towards the ceiling under your right shoulder. And just breathe. Inhale. And exhale. And now start walking your right hand to the right top corner of the mat. And then bend your right elbow so the right hand is closer to your head. On your next inhalation, extend the left arm above the head. Bend your left elbow. And then lower your left elbow to the mat. Release your left forearm to the mat. And then release your right forearm to the mat. Step your left foot to the back. Find your forearm plank. Make sure that there are no sensations in your lower back. You are tilting your pelvis under, scooping your abs, keeping your chest open. And then right forearm parallel to the shorter edge of the mat. Point your knees, your toes to the left. And then extend your left arm above the head. Once again, if you need, you can drop your right knee to the mat. Otherwise, keep your legs extended and just hold. Maybe you want to look towards your left fingers. If it's not super comfortable, which, for example, for me it's not, then just look at the mat. And keep lifting your hips, creating this rainbow shape with the right side of the body. Inhale. And then as you exhale, release your left forearm, right forearm parallel to the left one. Hip bones are pointing down. And then drop your knees on the mat, the top of the feet on the mat. And then lower your pelvis, your belly. Inhale here, engage your glutes. As you exhale, lower the chest on the mat. Hands under your elbows. Tuck your toes under. Knees can stay on the mat or you can lift the knees from the mat. We are going to press into a plank position. Start making your way into a plank position and just hold. Then lift your hips, make your way into your first downward dog of the practice. As always, especially in the first downward dog, give yourself some space to move if you need it, to keep your knees bent. We didn't do anything for the hamstrings in terms of stretching. Press the hands to the mat. Can you rotate the elbow creases so they are pointing towards each other and up? So this rotation from the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhalation, look to the front of the mat. And then big step, maybe hop in between your hands. Start making your way into a standing position, arms above the head. Tailbone is pointing down, shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale, hands drop on the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. You can slide your hands on your shins, open through the chest. As you exhale, hands drop on the mat. And then step back into your plank position. Chaturanga, knees on the mat if you need always. Point your elbows to the back, hover for a moment. Inhale, upward facing dog. Engage the glutes, lift your kneecaps, shift the chest slightly forward, look up. As you exhale, downward facing dog and immediately drop the forearms to the mat, one at a time or both at the same time. We're going to move from dolphin. And by the way, you can keep your knees bent here into a full plank position. So one elbow at the same time or both at the same time, press the knuckle pads into the mat and then make your way into your plank position, shifting the shoulders on top of your wrist creases. And then as you exhale, guide your hips to the back, drop the forearms to the mat. And again, forward, shoulders on top of your wrists. And then as you exhale, drop the forearms to the mat, find your dolphin. Traction the chest to the back of the mat, guiding your belly towards your thighs. And lifting the sit bones even more, maybe bending the knees if you need. And then from here, drop your knees on the mat so they are a bit closer to your elbows. Press the palms, the knuckle pads to the mat. Stay low with your chest. Start sliding forward, peeling the elbows, the forearms from the mat. And then making your way into your upward facing dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Take one more inhalation here. One more exhalation. As you inhale, look to the front of the mat. You can step, maybe you want to hop in between your hands. And then on your next inhalation, make your way into a standing position. 2 more times, just like that. As you exhale, dive your hands to the mat. On your next inhalation, halfway lift. As you exhale, hands on the mat. Step back into your plank position. Find your chaturanga. Hug the ribcage with your triceps, with your elbows. And then inhale. Upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog, immediately Drop your forearms to the mat. On your next inhalation, make your way into your plank position. As you exhale, lift your hips, drop your forearms to the mat. Press into the hands forward, shoulders on top of the wrist creases. And then as you exhale, drop your forearms, lift your seat bones, and just hold. Inhale. As you exhale, drop the knees to the mat. Press into the palms of the hands. Start peeling your elbows, your forearms, shifting the chest forward but staying low. The top of the feet on the mat. Inhale. Extend the elbows, up dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Just one inhalation here. One exhalation. On your next inhalation, look to the front of the mat, bend your knees. Shift the weight on your hands as you hop to the front of the mat. Belly towards your thighs, knees can of course bend. And then on your next inhalation, back into a standing position. As you exhale, lower your hands on the mat. On your next inhalation, halfway lift. Elongate your spine. As you exhale, hands on the mat. If you want, you can step. If you want, hopping. Bend your knees slightly. Really press your hands into the mat, thinking of pointing your elbows to the back. And by the time the toes touch to the mat, you will create 90-degree angle with your arms. So we are meeting in a chaturanga. And then inhale. Upward facing dog. As you exhale, downward dog, drop your forearms to the mat. We are in dolphin. You can walk your feet a bit closer if you need it. And then leave the elbows, shoulders on top of your on top of your wrists. And then as you exhale, drop the elbows, lift your hips. And again, forward. Find your plank. And then exhale. One more. Forward. And then as you exhale, drop your forearms to the mat. You can drop the knees on the mat, and that's exactly what we did the last 2 times. If you want to make it even more challenging, you are going to do that without dropping the knees to the mat. So you'll start peeling your elbows, staying low with your chest, lifting the forearms, and then extending the elbows, making your way through up dog. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. And just hold here. Take one more inhalation. Can you create even more length in your back, in your spine? One more exhalation. Bend your knees. Step, hop to the front of the mat. On your next inhalation, make your way into a standing position. Arms above the head. As you exhale, release your arms. Okay, we are going to shift the weight on your left foot. And then bend your right knee, pull your right heel towards the glute. Right hand on top of the right foot or ankle. Left hand can stay on the hip, but if it's possible, also left hand on top of the right ankle. And then once again, tilt your pelvis under, squeeze your glutes, press the hip bones to the front of the mat, right knee is pointing down. And just hold. Micro bend in your left knee, so notice what's happening in your left knee. Creating this, building this awareness in the body. Finding your drishti. And then releasing your right foot. Pulling your right knee to the chest, compressing the right hip joint and pressing the palms of the hands together in front of the chest. Start bending your left knee, swinging your right knee to the back, shifting the weight slightly forward. See if you can tap with your right knee to the mat, then maybe lowering the shin and the foot. And then shifting the weight on your left foot and then lifting your right knee, pulling it towards the chest. And again, bend your left knee. Maybe the foot will drop on the mat first. That's okay, but maybe you're trying to drop the knee first. And then stack the shoulders on top of the hips. And then back into a standing position. One more time. Right knee to the back. Start bending the left knee, hinging from your hips. And then maybe the right knee drops to the mat first. Extend the arms above the head. As you exhale, start bending your right knee even more. Once again, maybe you will need a block here. So maybe you will place the block in the way that you can sit on top of it, and the right calf is next to your right thigh. Left foot stays on the mat. Maybe you don't need a block, just be aware of what's happening in the right knee. And then place your hands under your shoulders with your fingers pointing forward. On your next inhalation, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips, maybe drop your head to the back. Opening through the front of the body, the right quad. Can you lift the right hip bone even more? As you exhale, release your glutes to the mat. With or without the use of the hands, make your way into a kneeling position. And then pull your right knee to the chest. Extend the arms above the head and then lower your hands in front of the chest. Start guiding your right knee to the right and then to the back, bending your left knee, placing the outside of the right foot to the left. Lower your right hand on the inside of your left foot on the block or on the mat. Extend your left arm above the head. Inhale. As you exhale, lower your hips on the mat. Left foot is on the outside of the right knee. Flex your right toes. Left hand behind your back. Inhale. Right arm above the head. Open your chest. As you exhale, twist to the left. Right fingers are pointing to the ceiling. Press the right heel forward. Look to the back of the mat. So you are facing the longer edge of the mat now. Take one more inhalation. As you exhale, come back through center. Hands under the left knee. You can pull them towards your chest, or you can place your hands at the back of your calf. Maybe even interlace your hands on the sole of your foot. Start extending your left leg. And then think of elongating through the back, especially the lower back. So even if you need to bend the knee, that's okay. Create that length in your spine. And then point your left toes. Lower your right hand next to the right hip. And then big step with your left leg to the back of the mat. The lateral side of the right foot on the mat, the inside of the left foot on the mat. Right fingers are pointing to the front of the mat. Inhale. Lift your hips, fallen triangle. Left fingers are reaching up. Hold. Maybe you want to hold here. Maybe you want to make it more challenging by lifting your right foot from the mat. Pressing the femur into a hip socket, really engaging the obliques and core. Tap and lift. One more. Tap and lift. And then if your foot is on the mat, stay there. If it's lifted, bend your right knee. Maybe pull the right knee to the right elbow. Lower the left hand on the mat. If your foot was on the mat, then now pull it towards your right elbow. And then extend your right leg up and high, making your way into your one-legged downward dog. Bend your right knee. Pull it towards your chest and big step with your right foot in between your hands. Inhale, arms above the head, shoulders stacked on top of your hips. Make sure that you are elongating the spine. If you need to bend the left knee for that, that's okay. Inhale. As you exhale, lower your arms and then place your left elbow on top of the right elbow. Maybe place the back of your hands together. Maybe you can intertwine your forearms as well. And then pull your elbows forward and then up, creating space in between the shoulder blades. Inhale. As you exhale, tap with your elbows to your right knee. Inhale, lift your chest. And again, exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. One more. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Hold. And then shift the weight on your right foot. Pull your left knee to the chest. And then start placing your left thigh on top of the right thigh. Maybe drop your left toes to the right edge of the mat. Maybe wrap your left foot and calf around the right one. And keep guiding your elbows forward and up. Sink low. Keep breathing. So once again, this internal rotation in the hips that we practiced at the beginning of this class. And then release your legs. Pull your left knee to the chest. Bend your right knee as you step your left foot to the back. Extend the arms above the head. As you exhale, lower your left knee to the mat. The top of the left foot on the mat. And just hold. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your left elbow, right hand on top of your left elbow. And then just tilt your torso to the right, elongating the left side of the body, keeping your hips, your shoulders square. And then back through center, extend your arms. Check in with your lower back, elongate it mindfully. And then lower your hands on the mat so we are framing your right foot, maybe blocks under the hands. Extend your right leg, maybe lift your right toes. Keep your hips square, inviting the left hip bone forward, right to the back. Bend your right knee, arms above the head. As you exhale, drop your hands on the mat. Extend the right leg, square your hips. And again, inhale. Lift your chest, arms above the head. As you exhale, drop the hands on the mat. And then start extending your right leg. Maybe lift your right toes from the mat for deeper sensations in your calf. Maybe walk your hands to the back so they are under your shoulders. Left hip bone forward, right to the back. Inhale, long spine. As you exhale, guide your belly towards your thighs. And just hold. Take one more deep inhalation. One more exhalation. And just hold. Breathe. Take a moment to slow down. On your next inhalation, start lifting your belly from your thigh, chest from the mat. And then stack your shoulders on top of the hips. And then start lifting your right foot. And then drop your right knee next to the left knee. It doesn't have to look pretty. Hands on the hips, elbows are pointing to the back, tilt your pelvis under. If you have a block or a book, you can even place it in between your thighs. And we really want to engage the inner thighs, which will also help with engaging the core and the glutes. So glutes strong, inner thighs are working, core is strong. Long spine, inhale. As you exhale, start opening your chest to the ceiling. And the goal here is that you are lifting your chest to the ceiling. Maybe you will drop the head to the back. Hips stay on top of your knees. Keep squeezing the block. Engage the glutes. Take one more inhalation. One more exhalation. Inhale. Back through center. You can release the block now. And then sit back on your heels. Extend your arms above the head. As you exhale, child's pose. On your next inhalation, ripple forward, making your way into your upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Immediately drop your forearms to the mat. Walk your feet a bit closer to the front of the mat if you need. Traction the chest to the back of the room. And then elbow taps. We have done those quite a few times in the classes. So press the hands to the mat and then lift and lower. Lift and lower. If this is too much, one elbow at the time. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And then lift. Find your downward facing dog. Can you press the hands even more? Maybe lifting your sit bones even more. Elbows are pointing away from each other and down, elbow creases towards each other and up. On your next inhalation, look to the front of the mat, bend your knees, hop to the front of the mat. Belly towards your thighs. Find your forward fold, and then on your next inhalation, back into a standing position. As you exhale, release your arms. Shift the weight on your right foot as you pull your left heel to the glute, maybe only left hand on your left foot, maybe both of your hands. Left knee is pointing down. Open your chest. Tilt your pelvis under. Micro bend in the right knee. Hold. Keep pressing the hip bones forward, elongating the front of the left thigh. And then from here, release your left foot. Pull your left knee to the chest, hands in front of the chest. Start bending your right knee, sending your left knee to the back, hinging slightly forward from the hips, and then stack your shoulders on top of the hips. Shift the weight on your right foot. Pull your left knee to the chest. And then swing your left leg, which is still bent, to the back. Bend your right knee. And then drop your left knee, left foot to the mat. One more. Lift. And then start lowering. Maybe one side feels very different than the other side. And just hold. Inhale. Arms above the head. As you exhale, start lowering your hips, maybe block under the glutes. Maybe you can make your way into a seated position, then pull the meaty part of the left calf so it's next to your left thigh. And again, if there's any sensation in your left knee, please sit on top of the block. Hands under the shoulders, fingers pointing forward, right foot grounded on the mat. Inhale. Lift the hips. Press the hips to the ceiling. Drop your head to the back. Lift your chest, squeeze the glutes. Inhale. As you exhale, lower your glutes on the mat. Use your hands to press up into a kneeling position once again. And then make your way into a standing. Pull your knee to the chest, compressing the hip joints. Hands in front of your chest together. Start drawing a circle with your left knee. So left knee to the left. And then to the back, start bending your right knee. Step the outer edge of your left foot to the right. Right knee is bent. Left hand on the block or on the mat. And extend your right arm above the head, opening your chest to the right. Slide the right shoulder blade a bit closer to the spine. Inhale. As you exhale, start lowering your hips. Left toes are pointing up. The right foot is on the outside of the left knee. You can stay as you are. I will just turn so you can face me. Right hand behind your back. Inhale. Extend the left arm above the head. Exhale, twist to the right. And then look to the back of the mat. Inhale. Elongate. Exhale, sink into your twist. And one more inhalation. As you exhale, come back through center. Hands under the right knee. Lift your right foot from the mat. Maybe you will stay here prioritizing opening through the chest. So listen to your body. Form over depth. Maybe you will walk your hands on your calf. Maybe you can even interlace your hands in the front of the right sole of the foot. And then start extending your right leg. And if you see that you're collapsing, branding in your lower back, then please bend your knee or drop your right leg slightly. Keep pressing the right heel to the ceiling if you have extended your right leg. And then take one more inhalation. Point your toes. As you exhale, left hand next to your left hip. And then big movement with your right foot so it lands at the back of the mat. The inside of the right foot on the mat, the outside of the left foot on the mat, left fingers pointing away from you. And then inhale, lift your hips, finding your fallen triangle. Right heel is on the mat. Right fingers are reaching up. Either stay here or start plugging the Left thigh bone into a hip socket, engaging the abs, lifting your left foot and lowering, lift and lower, lift and lower. If your left foot is on the mat, stay here. If you have lifted your left foot, bend your left knee, pull it towards your left elbow. Drop your right hand on the mat, square your hips. If your left foot was still on the mat, then slide your left knee to the left elbow, and then make your way into your one-legged downward facing dog, opening the hip, bend your left knee, big step with your left foot in between your hands. On your next inhalation, high lunge. Guide this right hip bone forward, maybe sink even lower, but creating even more length in your lower back. And then the right elbow on top of the left elbow. Maybe the top of your hands will be pressing to each other, and that's okay. Maybe you can twist your forearms as well. Guide your elbows forward and then up. Left knee stays on top of the left heel. Inhale. As you exhale, tap with your elbows to your knee. Inhale up. And again, exhale. Inhale. And again, exhale. And then inhale. Hold. Pull your elbows forward and up. Shift the weight on your left foot. Right knee to the chest. And then eagle legs. Maybe right foot will drop to the left edge of the mat. Maybe you will wrap your right leg around the left leg completely. Right foot around the left calf. Maybe sink even lower. Keep pulling the elbows forward and up. Keep breathing. And then on your next inhalation, right knee to the chest. Extend your left leg. And then step your right foot to the back as you bend your left knee. Extend your arms above the head. As you exhale, lower your right knee to the mat. Extend the top of the right foot on the mat. Take one more inhalation. As you exhale, bend your right elbow, left hand on top of the right elbow. Open your chest and then start tilting your body to the left, elongating the right side of the body. Inhale, back through center, extend the arms above the head. As you exhale, lower the hands on the mat so we are framing your left foot, maybe on top of the blocks. Extend your left leg, square your hips. You can lift the left toes from the mat, sending your sit bones to the back. Inhale, bend your left knee, press the hip bones forward. As you exhale to the back, work with your breath so again find your pace. Inhale. Exhale. One more. In and out. And then walk your hands under the shoulders. Once again, if you feel like you need longer arms, then blocks would be amazing to use here. Maybe lift your left toes from the mat, pressing the left heel forward. And then inhale, long spine. Imagine that someone is pulling you to the front of the mat from your chest. As you exhale, belly towards your left thigh. And just hold. Keep inviting the right hip bone forward, left to the back. Keep breathing. On your next inhalation, start lifting your chest from the mat, belly from your thigh, shoulders on top of the hips. And then start lifting your left heel from the mat, bend your left knee, step it so it's next to the right knee. And then once again, camel, this time with the opportunity to extend the elbows. So once again, tilt your pelvis under. If you want to use the block, go ahead. Engage the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs, everything to the midline of the mat. Long spine. As you exhale, find your camel pose. You can stay here. Or if you want, you can extend your elbows, placing your hands on your heels. If you need a bit more space, you can tuck your toes under so the heels are a bit closer to the hands. And then keep lifting your chest, opening through the chest, pressing the hips forward. Maybe drop your head to the back. On your next inhalation, start lifting. Hands come back on the hips for a moment. Neutralize the spine. So tailbone is pointing back, lower back is elongating here. And then lower your hips on top of the heels. Arms above the head. As you exhale, dive forward, child's pose. On your next inhalation, make your way into your up dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Take one more inhalation. As you exhale, drop the forearms to the mat. You can hold here or you can try to play with the forearm stand. So you can just build strength by holding this dolphin pose. Of course, at some point, probably it will get tough because I will be talking quite a lot. So if you need, drop the knees. If you want to play with the forearm stand, forearms are parallel to each other. And then think of dropping the shoulders away from the ears, creating this long neck. You'll open through the chest, sliding the shoulder blades together, but tilting your pelvis under and hiding the lower ribs here. And then if you're in your dolphin, maybe that's enough. Maybe you'll start walking the feet a bit closer towards your elbows. And maybe that's enough. You will be lifting your hips. Maybe you will start kicking your right leg. Maybe one time, maybe a few times. You are pressing the forearms, the elbows to the mat. You're hiding the lower ribs. The toes are reaching to the ceiling. You're looking at the mat. Really press the elbows to the mat. Create length in your spine. Keep breathing. Otherwise, you're just holding in your dolphin. Wherever you are, take one more inhalation. As you exhale, drop the knees on the mat, the top of the feet on the mat. Child's pose with your arms next to your legs. Just hold and breathe. The forearm stand can be a tricky one because you definitely need mobility in the shoulders. You're really opening the chest here. So that's why we did all of those stretches and the puppy pose as well. And it's a back bend. It's a back bend and inversion, which makes it even more difficult. Just play with it. Be warmed up so you are also not afraid to fall and flip and end up in the back bend. And really think of creating integration in your core, this scooping in your abs kind of sensation, still while you're doing the back bend. And just play with it. If it's not for today, dolphin is a great place to stay and practice the strength and also mobility in the shoulders. Take one more inhalation here. One more exhalation. And then extend your arms to the front of the mat. Start rippling forward and this time make your way on your belly. Extend your right arm to the right. The left hand is next to the left rib cage. Bend your left knee. Right cheek on the mat. Start rolling on the right shoulder. Bend your left knee. Left knee is pointing up. If this is quite easy for you, you can try bending your right knee so you are placing the right foot next to the left foot with both of the knees pointing up. And just hold here. Slow down your breath. Inhale. If you have bent the right knee, extend it as you exhale back on your belly. And then extend your left leg. Bend your right knee, bend your right elbow. Extend your left arm to the left. And then start lowering the left cheek on the mat, guiding your right knee to the ceiling, dropping your right foot behind the left thigh, opening your chest to the right. Maybe close your eyes. Inhale. And exhale. And then start making your way on your belly once again. Bend your left elbow, left hand next to the rib cage. And once again, press back. Just for a moment, child's pose. Rest your forehead on the mat. And then slide your hands so they are next to your knees. So lift your upper body. Cross your ankles under your heels and make your way into a seated position on the mat. Extend your legs in front of you. On your next inhalation, arms above the head, a long spine, really elongating the sides of the body, pressing the heels forward. If you need, bend your knees. As you exhale, belly towards your thighs. If you can grab to your feet or maybe to your toes, just make sure that you're not pulling your toes too much. Maybe you can grab to the opposite elbow in front of the soles of the feet. And just rest on top of the legs. Take one more inhalation. One more exhalation. And then as you inhale, start lifting your chest, your belly, extending the arms forward. And then slowly start making your way on your back body. Pull your left knee to the chest. Extend your left arm to the left. And then find your spinal twist, guiding your left knee to the right, guiding the left shoulder blade towards the mat. Slow down your breath. And then make your way back to center, pulling your right knee to the chest. Extend the left leg on the mat. Extend your right arm to the right side and guide your right knee to the left with your left hand. Lower the right shoulder blade to the mat, maybe looking towards your right fingers. Just stay, breathe. Allow your body to be soft, relaxed. And then come back through center. Pull your left knee to the chest and give yourself a big hug. Maybe rock side to side, massaging the lower back, the sacrum. And then start extending your legs into your Shavasana. Of course, if you want to play with this position, maybe you want to place the bolster under the knees. It's all good. Find a position that makes you feel good, that is comfortable. And maybe place one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. We are going to introduce one more gentle pranayama exercise. Also, diaphragmic breathing, meaning stimulating parasympathetic nervous system, the nerve, vagus nerve that I talked at the beginning of the class. So for now, allow your breath to flow, to maybe become a bit deeper, but still effortless. And then whenever you feel ready after your next inhalation, next exhalation, start inhaling to your belly, to your ribs and your chest. And then exhale from your chest, your ribs and your belly. And again, inhale belly, feel the belly expanding, rib cage widening, chest. Exhale chest, ribs and belly. Inhale, guiding the air to the belly, then the rib cage, all the way up to the collarbones, and then exhale, chest, ribs and belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs and belly. And if it feels good, keep breathing just like that. If it doesn't feel great, if it prevents you from relaxation, then just come back to the natural breath. And just be in this Shavasana. Breathing in any way that makes you feel good, maybe 3-part breath, or maybe not. And allow each part of your body to relax, to sink deeper into the mat, into the ground, become heavy, relaxed. If you want to stay in your Shavasana longer, please do. You can pause the recording. If you feel ready to reawaken your body, be gentle, be kind to yourself, and especially if it's something that you rush through usually, if it's difficult for you to stay still and take your time, then maybe slow this process even more down. Maybe add some movements into your toes and fingers. Maybe you want to hug the knees to the chest or quite the opposite, stretch the body on the mat. Just take your time. Maybe you want to roll on the side, making your way into your fetal position. And then pressing to your hands, maybe make your way into a seat. I say a lot of maybe, but just make this transition yours. So all of the things are optional. The timing of those things is also up to you. If you are in a seated position, maybe you want to stay here in the stillness for a few more moments. Maybe you feel ready to finish the practice and then place the palms of the hands in front of the chest, thanking yourself, sending yourself a big hug, a big portion of gratitude. And thank you so much. Namaste.